Look, it's a flood.
It's a flood.
It's flooding.
Get away.
Quick, we need to get to higher ground.
Open the floodgates.
Suppose Mike is live now too.
Oh, well, here you go. Well, look at that.
Hi everybody!
Hey everybody!
Hey, girls and boys.
So we have a favorite back on the pod, TK.
Yo, yo, yo.
Yo.
What's going on?
Yo,
It's
TK
tea
TK
time.
decided to start this pod
It's
off with
tea
something
time.
fun.
It is tea time with T and K. Not that tea. Anyway.
Hey.
TK showed up
Hey,
with...
look at you coming through with the fucking intros. If you ever do a podcast, that better be good.
We'll get it out of bed. So, I went to Pan Express because you know me, I love my Chinese food. And the guy gave me 3 fortune cookies. And I figured, hey, we're going to be here. I have 2 other people that can use it. Fuck it. Let's just start off the show with this.
Alright, so he gave us 3 fortune cookies. I'll start. I'll read the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So my fortune cookie is... Make time for you.
Are you going to make time for yourself?
I apparently have to now.
That sounds like a resolution for 2025.
All right.
You know, you finally have the funds available to make time for you.
Right.
That is true.
Right.
That is
So
true.
maybe now you need to invest in yourself.
Right.
You know what they say? That's the best investment right there, other than index funds. Definitely not meme coins.
No, that definitely. Oh, and also probably find yourself a good, wholesome land.
Yep, right? Yeah, before BlackRock snatches all of it up.
Right.
But we'll talk about that.
All right, TK.
I
It
guess-
is your time for your fortune cookie.
Oh no. I got the fortune cookie that says, help me, I got stranded. And I'm just kidding. But no,
What's
mine
the
is,
lucky numbers on the back?
no, mine is, you have the ability to overcome obstacles on the way to success.
Hey.
Alright, that's some
Golf
wisdom
clap for
shit.
that.
He is a bear.
Yes.
He can eat his way there.
I mean, I just forced
Bars?
myself. I was...
Bars?
Bars!
Just pushing through all of those
All right,
barriers.
Doc. All right, Doc. What you got?
Be the kind of friend you'd be proud to have.
Oh, hell no.
You know what,
It's
Doc?
like, sir,
You know what, Doc? You know
get
what,
out
Doc?
there.
What's up, Doc?
I'm already proud that you are my friend.
Oh,
I'm proud that
look
you
at
are
that.
my friend, too.
Oh, look at that. It's all love over here in Trump's America.
You see, guys, it
Are you
is
guys
possible.
still proud of me? Are you still proud of
A
me?
white man can't admit that a black man does some good in the world.
This is where I have my tequila and my moonshine, and we're just having a good night, folks.
Yeah. I'm ready.
I don't endorse drinking. I don't endorse alcohol for people who are alcoholics, but you know, there is a grace period.
responsibly.
Drink responsibly.
Yeah.
This is the best
Was
night
that grace
ever.
period? Did that grace period happen to be from November 5th until January 20th?
Grace period.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So, like,
It was very hard to do dry January this year. Let me put it that way.
all right. So let me just tell y'all, like, look, we try to be a less political podcast, but
Our
it's gonna be a
listeners
little
are like-
bit more difficult now.
Our listeners collectively all just gasped. Like, do they?
Do
they though?
I think every time.
We've been trying.
I mean, I do feel like the best way to get through time is making fun of it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to, dog. 'cause this shit.
That's why I tell people, like, anytime they're just like, oh, I just had a loss in my life, and I'm just like, look, I'm terrible at handling this, and I'm prone to making jokes, so I apologize in advance, and I am not the person to talk to about it. I tell them, I'm like, look, I'm sorry, and I empathize. I am not the person not the person you want to talk to about this.
So there's some people in our world who are very outspoken. You're not a fire sign. You're earth sign? What?
He's a
water
water
sign.
sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit, he's
I'm a
water
Cancer.
sign.
Yeah.
Oh well, he don't wonder why he's so.
Every time you say that, every time you say it like that,
I'm a Cancer.
see it.
I'm like, who hurt you?
Yeah.
Are you the
My
apocalypse?
parents.
Yeah, it's
Are you
a
the
little-
apocalypse?
Not
sign?
like that, but my parents.
It's like, how many times have you heard that? You're a Cancer.
But honestly, though, you being a Cancer, there's only one thing that we have to do, and that is rise up
Like the tide that is crashing through.
through.
This is Doc,
And Ziggy,
and we're here with TK on
the flood.
That's
Hey,
right,
y'all.
baby.
You know, where we take the news happening around us, talk about how it shapes the culture that defines us
On your
with
favorite
our...
weekly pop culture digest, taking our pop perspective
To put the culture in context.
and make the mainstream make sense.
Because if we do not make sense, we don't make
dollars.
Holla.
And us for the link to that flood coin, baby.
And let's give a shout out to our patrons, Enraged Peacock,
Hey, see you later, Cool Cat Slater.
and Thunder Night.
Night.
We said beforehand, the Ryo is on you.
Hello there, everyone.
Thunder Night,
Ryan,
Ryo.
and that is
My man hit
I had to show him beforehand.
Yeah,
I
the
was like,
very sultry Ryo, though. He said, Thunder Night.
Yeah.
but like I had to
Welcome
show
to
him
the
beforehand. I was
quiet
like, look, this is why I say Ryo, even though he's just Thunder Knight. And I was like Thunder King. I was like, we both love this fucking card.
The
Right.
only one
I
allowed to
love
call
this.
him Thunder King is his partner.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, hey Ryder, hope you're feeling well.
But I know if I ever need like a grizzly bear to tear somebody apart, I could just scream Ryo into
See,
Are
the
you on?
skies.
Wait, so also, are you doing like the Superman thing where like it forecasts through the clouds, like the Batman signal?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, TK is just like,
I come through the sky, or I come through the
I
woods.
smell danger in the air.
I smell a problematic white man. Hold on, let me come through.
Which you did know.
TK's like, it's my time. Black savior complex.
What you didn't know is TK was the bear that all the women were choosing.
Honestly, though, and I don't want any of them.
That's the point. That's why. That's
They
why
were just trying to get you to go shopping with
That's
you.
why they
I-
with you.
Look, I was bisexual for a bit, okay? I have dealt with my fair share of dating the opposite.
He said, I have been in the coochie.
And
the boochie.
I saw the movie Teeth. That's all I need to know.
Hey, shout out to you if you survived the movie T.
That's
And you still went on to explore the coochie. 'Cause
I don't know.
that
I
movie
was
might have
talking-
put a hard stop on a lot of boys' fantasy.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of
Would
people
you
who
say
are afraid.
Teeth is the equivalent propaganda, don't do this type of shit as Requiem for a Dream and drugs?
Yeah, Teeth is more like It Follows, though. Like, It Follows, low-key
That-
felt like a STD PSA, right? It's like, I mean, you couldn't have telegraphed that anymore. Like, you transmit the demon through, like, having sex with people, and it follows you, but nobody can see it. Only you know you have it.
Honestly, if that's like a metaphor for like having, I don't know, any type of like self-doubt issues, or like, that's the worst way
Yeah,
to procreate.
that too.
Like,
That too.
like, I'm sorry. So you're supposed to tell me I have this dick that just bites off people's face? No. I honestly though, you know, Hollywood, I know you're hearing this. I have the next D-list horror movie for you. It's going to be a grinder hookup that's gone terribly wrong. The guy comes over and he goes, tries to do the things that starts with an S and things you use to blow a balloon. And then his face gets bitten off because his penis is
Great, throw it in the Pooniverse. By the way, Lighthouse update, I have come up with a better fucking name for the Pooniverse than the Pooniverse.
Ask Reddit.
The
I think I
100
downloaded
acre,
the wrong
the
ground house.
100 acre verse.
100 acre verse.
100 acre wood, the 100 acre verse.
Is this part of Stan Schneider's multiverse theory?
No, it's like that Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. They're doing.
Yeah, they're turning that into.
That was on last week's episode, TK.
You know what I've been doing since December? Studying.
What have you been? What have you
been doing?
So for those who, it's been about a year.
Yes.
The last time I came here was about January or sometime.
Usually, it's around the beginning of the year.
I was Mr. Mayhem Leather Bear last year, and I ventured out of my circle a little bit more. So I went to Texas, I went to San Francisco, I went to Chicago. I competed for International Mr. Leather, which is like the biggest contest for the leather folk in
I have
the
seen
world.
a little bit of your travelogue. It's like, look how great I am doing. By the way, let me just shit on Magic the Gathering a little bit. I love that. It's like, I'm doing awesome. And then, like, in the third paragraph, it's like, let me shit on Magic a little bit.
How many different countries compete for international?
International Mr. Leather held in May. There's in my class, there was about 58 contestants, of which 10 of them came from overseas, between 7 countries.
7 countries,
Yeah.
58 different contestants? Okay.
How many of them were
pretty
Western European countries?
All but one. We had one from Australia.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like Western European life.
I was gonna say Australia seems like it's got a pretty lively LGBT.
Oh, it's heavily active. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's pretty though. I want to.
They only live once, and everything there is trying to kill them.
Well, that's only if you're outside of like Brisbane, like basically Queensland is like their country. Like, if people don't know,
Isn't it like all the eastern coast?
Yeah, like basically the east coast of that is literally where people live. Anything west of that, that's when it's that's when things try
sticks.
to.
Yeah, that's the sticks. That's what they call bush country, and not the good kind of bush country.
I then went on my own little kind of personal break, my own little sabbatical, and I started dating. Which, for some of you who had TK dating in 2024, you can cross that off of your list. And then we started dating each other, and then I asked him out to be my boyfriend in front of a live studio audience, and we continued, and then I competed for another contest, which is now
World Leather Bear.
I am more than just your typical Mayhem Bear. I am now International Mayhem. So I won, the technical title is called World Bear. I am the first person with this title. So my title got changed because it used to be Mr.
So
World Bear.
what are the qualifications for World Bear?
I speak of the trees, I'm the Lorax. But it replaced Lorax with bears.
You know how much I hate all of the stupid secret lair art. You know this, right?
Yeah.
You know how much I hate all of the secret lair art.
Right.
And I hate that card exists, but I want you to own the custom bear skin.
I actually had a friend who works at a certain printing facility. I won't name that facility, but he may or may not have printed a GP size of that art. So it may or may not be hanging in my living room.
Yeah, no, that, like, of all of the ones, I'm like, I hate that this exists, but I hope TK owns it.
That's
like that's what I thought when I saw it.
Oh no, you're not the only person who's like, oh my god, TK, they made a magic art for bears. I'm like, what? And then I looked at it, it's like, oh my god, that's literally me. Now I look back at it, it's like, that's me, my partner, the guy that I've been trying to hook up with for years now, and he's not looking at me, and like my friends, like
So,
this whole thing is a reenactment of my life.
I have to ask, so you asked him out in front of a live studio.
Yes.
Was the guy you were trying to hook up with there?
No.
That would have been wild. That would have been wild. So, are you guys monogamous?
No.
No.
We are very open.
Okay.
We're open play. We're open everything.
Okay.
We just
Very positive,
yeah.
very progressive.
My old roommate and his husband are like that as well.
yeah. We just I'm gonna say I'm terrible with monogamy. I'm terrible being one track mind. I have ADHD.
Yeah.
Asking someone who has ADHD and be a
I am
monogamous
a
relationship.
gay autistic nerd. Do you think I am in a monogamous relationship?
No fuck to people who can do that. I'm not that person.
I'm kind of like the opposite of ADHD because, like, I like like one of the things I like about
You
relationships is like, as crazy as I am, I have this one thing I can be like, all right, just.
What is your one thing when it comes to relationships? What is your dig? What is your key?
Oh no. I'm gonna need some beer for this one.
What has been your king? What has been your? Let me.
What? Actually, let me rephrase this.
I was gonna,
What is a taboo that you don't want people to know about?
Ooh, that's not where I was going, but yeah, he's taking it spicy.
It's a very middle ground.
What has been like your?
I got one.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
I'll let you speak.
Yep.
I legitimately like the band U2.
Okay.
That's your turn on. That's your.
No, I mean that's definitely a guilty pleasure. I can admit.
But that's.
I legitimately.
That was like the most vanilla thing you could have said. It was like, well, I cuss sometimes. I'm sorry, we're not vanilla shaming here.
Well,
Hold on.
Okay.
I've also watched Desperate Housewives twice. Hold on, don't crash that 3 times.
Wow.
All the way through.
I didn't know I was
and
on.
Enjoyed the entire thing, including the seasons during the writer's strike.
I didn't know I was on The View. Where's Mr. Goldberg? Where's Roxanne? It's like, where's Rosemary?
I'm trying to figure out what it is. Like, all right, when you go on your Hinge dates, right? What is that thing that Name Bleeped Here has been doing that makes you go, oh, you're getting it when we get back to the apartment,
to the bed?
That she does?
Sure,
or that I do. Because for me, it seems to always be, oh, I make her laugh.
Well, women love a guy who can make them laugh, because right now it seems like men have no sense of fucking humor whatsoever.
No. It's sad. It's really sad. So sad.
So what do you think it is for? What is it for you though that she does?
All right, so let me just say, I've recently before
and name is redacted.
Yeah, name is redacted.
Let me say that I was on a Hinge date before.
Name redacted.
Name redacted.
Before the person I've been seeing recently.
Name redacted too.
Who hopefully does not listen or watch the pod.
Probably can't even understand it enough.
That's fine.
Damn.
We're good.
Shots fired.
Moving on.
Literally just language barrier. She's smarter. She's doing stem cell research to cure CTE.
Okay.
So like,
yeah.
So
okay. Anyway, keep going.
Break.
Come on.
Like, so what is she doing?
So
that
what
gets your fucking motor running, buddy.
She.
Don't tell me she begs you.
No, it's honestly,
It's
guys,
an
it's like this is gonna sound stupid, but like she's just like
it's not
like a partner in crime type thing where it's like I want to do this, and she's just like, all right, I'm with it.
Roleplay, okay.
I was gonna say there's something
like,
about somebody who just matches your energy.
Right.
That's a big like
it's cool.
That's
Honestly.
a big green flag.
Like
right
it's
there.
cool because like
Flags.
she's always down to do whatever, but she also like doesn't really ask for anything.
Okay.
So it's like you want to do that, and she's like
low maintenance.
She's like super low maintenance, and that's really
What about
cool.
you, TK? What is it that what's one thing that your partner does that always gets your motor humping? Right? You like, oh, okay, I see what you're trying to do. I see what you're trying to do.
How NC-17 do you want this to go?
I mean, look, it can be anywhere from spicy.
My
Do you
glasses.
see? I have a setup.
By the way,
We
for
can
those
go-
who are only listening to the pod, our residential Catholic man has left the room.
He's going to go pray for our sinner souls. Yep.
So the thing, I will make this as PG as possible. And I'll tell you how we
You have
met
about
up.
20 seconds.
Don't rush the man. You
I
can't rush a good thing.
we were at an event, and I had a room at an event, and he came to my room, and we started to do third base things, and the third base thing led up to a certain part of my rear opened up with a certain type of action, with some
okay.
type of what's the technical body part of your tongue? that, and I fell asleep.
And you fell asleep. My man said he did a so good I went out.
No, legitimately, he did the thing, and I fell asleep, and I felt bad, and I texted him the next morning. It's like, I have never fell asleep with anybody. You're the first one. And he's like, is that a compliment? I'm like, yeah, let's go with that.
Okay. That's where it was at for me. That was wild.
I tried to make it as PG as possible. I did my best.
I wasn't gonna make it any better. Okay, was it the duration of time that he was able to for, or was it like just the period of the evening? You were already exhausted. You guys had already been going at it for long enough that you were like in a position that was comfortable, and the action was comfortable enough that you kind of just lulled off into La La Land.
Now, hold on, before you continue, I just sat back down and I realized, so earlier
you are
tonight,
dual wielding.
I know, I'm getting to that. I'm literally about to talk about that. So earlier tonight, I thought I misplaced one of my vapes, so I grabbed another one and I filled it with another pod, but then right before I left, I found that I had the first one, so now I feel like I'm a ninja dual wielding.
I feel like you're more like Star Wars. You're about to start.
I feel like sex talk makes this nigga so stressed out he had to dual wield his nicotine dispenser.
Honestly though, that is work. I know what for those.
I feel like your partner put the work in too, because look, it's been a long time since I don't think I've ever fallen asleep mid-act before. Like, Zig, have you ever conked out mid-act?
No.
You've never been never
mid-act.
Never mid-act?
Immediately after?
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, I feel like I'm being ostracized.
King Leather Bear. No, you are King International Leather Bear. These are privileges afforded to only such no.
The moment you get the title, like, king, pretty much anything.
Right, I mean, it's been really wild since I got this title.
I get power tripping playing Arch Enemy.
2024 was a really wild year, and in review at the year, we always like to kind of go over while we're talking about King.
Yeah.
How America liked to get out some of its stress while dealing with the wild year.
Yeah.
So when we come back from this break, we're going to talk about Pornhub's 2024 year in review.
Wow!
I'm very concerned about a lot of things.
There's
I really
quite a few
that.
surprises on this year's wrap up, but we'll get into that after this break.
Break!
I will enjoy the pillars from the goddess and the goddesses.
Many a maiden.
Well, we're now back on record. Welcome back.
I cannot with you.
Back. And we are here.
I am refreshed.
And refreshed. Just in time to discuss more King.
All right. How are you going to traumatize me this time?
How could we not discuss more King? Well,
Traumatize you!
Where do you want to start? Because Pornhub breaks it down, baby. You thought Facebook had data? No, Pornhub got the data.
Before we go into this list,
is it going to be like the entire South not applicable? Or is it going to count VPN?
What were you going to say, 2K?
I was going to say, like, do you remember, like years ago, or like it was starting like in the early 2010s.
You gotta remember, I'm 35 now. I've been watching porn since it was in the magazine.
Well, this is not directly related to porn, but like the blocking of porn and states and how every single election, there's always one candidate that says we need to outlaw ban porn.
Yeah. Oh, baby. It was all through Project 2025, and they coming for it, and no pun intended.
They already came.
But they are literally coming for it, because they don't want y'all to know about it. so they're trying to ban it because they can't control themselves, which is part of the reason why I like to go. It's for the lulz, of course, but it's part of the reason why I like to go over this shit every year, because the South, the people pushing this shit the hardest, always have the most interesting kinks, buddy. Like, it's so funny.
He totally doesn't get sick and twisted amusement of watching me squirm when we go over this.
No,
Honestly,
this is not about you.
This is not about you.
It's actually not about you. This is not. This is all about.
It's about me.
It's we don't kink shame over here, buddy, and I hate
kink question that ever
TK be like, I deserve it all.
I will deserve it.
I will kink question them. There are some
there
kinks.
is absolutely
there are some
kink
kinks.
questions.
Real quick, you have gone through all of GNX at this point, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Weird time to bring up
But yeah,
GNX. Ooh, quick question. What's a kink you're like? Absolutely fuck no.
So the thing is,
Because for me, it's diaper kink.
actually that's not that bad. I mean, so
What?
it's not. So here's the thing. As being an international kink title holder,
Yeah.
I've seen some shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I have seen some
sure.
wild shit.
sure.
And the half the shit that y'all straight people think is nasty, I guarantee if I ever take you to a Darklands, a Folsom, which is the
Damn,
one in
my
the
man
United
throwing
States,
him out there.
like
Folsom makes me already go like, wow.
like
I have one word for you, buddy. Sounding.
You know, I am so glad that literally yesterday I turned off my Facebook activity permissions.
Yes.
Literally yesterday.
Yes.
So my question is, where do you want to start? Because we can break it down by demographic. Since you're here, we can do gay searches and porn stars. We can do popular categories.
You know what?
We normally do state by state.
Let's do state by state. I like
let's
to
do
go
The
to
most interesting states.
I would like to start with the state with the most fucking problems. Texas. No, Florida. Florida
Well,
first.
hold on. Let's start with our
I got
home
it.
state of Maryland.
Okay, fine. But after that, Florida.
Yes.
So as I'm looking for the map, let me go over some of the other demographics we have.
Sure.
Here.
You know, general most search category overall, blah blah blah.
Well, some of these people, they're just their first time hearing this podcast. They don't know who we are. They don't know what porn is.
So the average
They're probably
age-
just some Bad Bunny fans.
The average age of PornHub users has actually gone up this year, and it is. Do you want to take a guess what the average age of the PornHub user is? Whether the age of your profile is.
That's what I was about to say. I'm like, how can I not get canceled for this podcast? 34.
38.
Damn!
And it actually went up this year.
Damn!
By what? But around average, the most consumed portion of demographic is 18 to 24, 27%. Then
Fucking incels.
Well,
I mean virgins.
Virgins.
I mean, first of all, let's not shame, because do you
Right.
remember how hard it was to get pussy when you were 18?
Yeah, that's fair.
But do you remember how awkward it was to go up to your
Yeah.
senior prom to ask Katie?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you had to give her flowers and shit. Like, you had to pretend like you actually loved the site. That's a joke.
that's a joke. That's a joke.
That's a joke.
And that being that, I feel bad because we did, that podcast where like men are the loneliest of this generation. I feel like that's kind of funny.
It's part of the reason that Trump won, bro.
Moving on.
The United States went down this year in their rank as the top country to consume porn, with only 21% of the country.
I specifically remember the two countries where women consume more porn than men is Romania
In India?
and Colombia.
Oh, okay.
No.
Ooh,
It was
all right.
Ukraine.
So,
It was Ukraine. and
relative
Colombia.
categories. Okay, so let me go up to categories. Top
Okay.
categories. What do you think the most searched term of the year is?
Hentai.
Absolutely.
I'm
By
gay.
an
I'm gay.
overwhelming.
Therefore, I know
by
hentai.
an overwhelming margin.
Right. It's like, I'm also a furry, so like, it's gonna be hentai.
That's gotta make, like, actual porn performers feel some kind of way. Where they're like, we're getting beat out by drawings.
What?
No, you're being beat up by obscure drawings.
Yeah, things that are absolutely impossible. I mean, you want to talk about unrealistic sex standards? My God, some of the like monster tentacle porn.
Not even just
A mutual friend of ours, Future Dan. I'm sure you remember his girlfriend. She once said that she can no longer get off to real people, and I will never forget her saying that.
Listen, animation had the biggest jump in search terms, or in search popularity this year with a plus 15. Another big jump this year was teacher and real amateur. So
so like real people are actually like getting up there.
So it's weird. It's like people are kind of like over the fakeness of overproduced porn, so they're watching hentai for real unrealistic standards, for unrealistic expectations, but when they come back to IRL porn, it seems they want like regular people.
Honestly though, if I'm gonna jerk off, if I'm going to ejaculate or something, I want it to be something that I could do. And because I'm one of those
people want to
I want to do that to my partner.
Live vicariously through the
like
escapism.
I'm one of those people where when I was a kid, I would mimic what I saw on television.
Future Dan, do not put in vicarious by tool.
And the amount of stuff that I've saw on the television, and it is true when they say kids are most impressionable by the things they like.
I mean, listen, there's something to be said about your libido and the age you discovered porn at. However, looking at 2024, it is easy to discover that the most viewed category overall, though, was MILF, which went up +4 this year. So people are really into the moms.
What the fuck happened this year that I'm trying to think about what MILF?
That had people into the moms? Everybody, Kamala, man. Kamala gives off big auntie energy.
You know who's the happiest about that? You know who's the happiest about that?
Yeah.
Female porn stars who get their careers extended.
I mean, listen.
No,
that's not a bad thing.
No, actually, now I think about it, it's not Kamala. It's what's the number one podcast for women? The top 10 Spotify go.
Oh, Call Your Daddy.
Call Your Daddy.
Yeah.
I think it's Call Your Daddy.
Yeah,
I was about to say Talk to her.
She's not. That's not MILF energy.
That's not energy. But
that is not MILF energy.
But Call Her Daddy though, like.
Yeah. And I mean, verified amateurs is also another category that had a huge jump this year with a +10. Other huge jumps were French and Brazilian. So people want foreign MILFs. People want foreign MILFs. A category that had the biggest drop off this year with only a -7 was gangbangs. So people.
Honestly though, COVID.
Yeah, I
You be watching those and be like, one of them's gonna die.
Has everybody been tested? And I don't mean STD tested.
We're not saying COVID is an STD. We're just saying there's a lot of hot air getting around in that room.
Speaking of hot air, anal was the second most searched category.
That will always. Okay, here's the thing. As long as humans exist, anal's going to be on that top 10 list. The moment that we start turning to robots, that's going to fall off. Robots don't have anuses.
So you think anal
will
die with robots? That's a hot
with an increase in suicide.
I feel like
okay, Bender.
Okay,
Bender.
Bring it on! That's one of the greatest first episodes of a show ever. Is Futurama.
Okay, Bender.
Overall, though, what do you think the United States most viewed category is?
For the
United States.
I want clarifications. Does this include Hawaii?
The entire United States.
So Alaska and Hawaii.
Okay, what about our?
I'm looking for.
I'm
Samoa,
going to Puerto Rico.
I'm looking for the state map. I have not found the state map yet.
Because
does it include our extended territories?
That's the question. Because Puerto Rico does make this thing a bit different.
I mean, we haven't gotten to it yet, but the hit on the algorithm is a Bad Bunny song. So
I mean, Ebony. It's Ebony. Spoiler alert, the United States is into black women. It was always Kamala. It's been Kamala.
But she suddenly became
black.
black.
Canada is really into lesbians. All of Latin America, except for Brazil, is really into anal. Brazil is into Brazilians.
Calling me shocked. Brazil's into Brazilians. I mean, that's what happens when all the people from Brazil are just hung like a horse, boobs like they're melons. Like, I'm sorry.
There's also a lot of transgenders.
And the transgender.
Look at George Santos!
Oh my god.
Wow. You did that.
You really had to bring up that phase of his life? Future TK.
Like all of Europe?
No. I want to guess Europe.
Okay, go for it.
I want to guess Europe. Because Europe is very interesting. So the thing is, Germany, for those who don't know, are freaks.
Yeah,
they are extreme freaks. Our kinks over here
that
is
honestly
nowhere
shouldn't
near.
be much of a genre that Germans are extreme.
German women are really into black dudes. really into black. Like black dudes want to go to Japan because they think Japanese women will immediately.
That's how much of a culture shift that Germany has had, everybody.
Yeah, no.
I would say.
No, if you're a black dude and you really want to get laid, go to Germany.
Although, if you're black and gay, be careful because if your dick is cut, they may not want to play with you. But that's besides the point. To answer your question, on the number one rated category,
tips free.
I'm going to say.
No pun intended.
I'm going to say. It's fetish as the number one category.
Most of Europe is into MILFs. The highest search category.
That really? So America and Europe.
Well, America, yeah. I mean, overall, everybody was into.
You know what that tells me?
But America likes
everybody is
MILFs.
so scared of being called a pedophile that all they search on Pornhub is MILF.
No, honestly though,
Russia is really into anal. Obviously,
they have nothing else better to do.
Australia really likes lesbians. Obviously, Africa is all about ebony and Arab women, right?
Future Dan, cut this portion out. What about the Gaza Strip?
There's no way that's getting cut out. There's no
Not
way
gonna be able to do it.
Future Dan well enough. There is 0% chance that's getting cut out.
But to answer your question, MILFs. Because
there is 0% chance that's getting cut out.
I only asked cut this out just because it's super sensitive at this point, and that's out there.
You remember we were talking off mic about ignorant questions that are legitimate. I need to know the answer, but are inherently offensive.
You know what? I need to have a schedule.
That are legitimate questions. It's just nobody they're not questions that people are used to asking in sincerity.
You know me for 10 years. You know I will ask the dumbest questions and have zero thought.
Also, 10 years is an understatement.
Since we've got you here, TK,
yes.
Usually we skip this category.
Yeah. Oh.
But do you want to know what the most gay search terms are?
Absolutely. Let's go.
Twink. Overwhelmingly
not surprised.
is the
not surprised.
most
Dan,
searched
your
game.
Category. Not surprised.
Followed by anime and Pinoy, which I have no idea what Pinoy is.
Okay. I've never heard Pinoy either.
Femboy, which went up for points this year. And then
why are you looking at me?
Not the femboy, but the twink part. Keep
Straight
going.
Guys First Time. And then at the bottom we have Female to Male, which went up +9.
Oh.
Cute Femboy went up +4.
Wait, we have a different category from this
Is that because of the
femboy.
Timothy Chalamet success?
It's like... Wait, hold on. We have a difference of cute versus...
Yes.
I'm sorry. No, right at bat. I want to recount.
Alright, so what do you consider Timothy Chalamet?
I don't know this person.
Show him a picture of Timothy Chalamet.
Oh.
Have you seen
Dune?
Or Wonka?
Oh, Dune, yes.
Yeah,
the main character?
Yeah, he's the main character in Dune.
Okay, yeah. He's okay. He's not my type, but you know what? If it
would he be cute or man pretty?
I fall him under Brad Pitt, man pretty.
I mean, like if you look at this, I would lean towards Brad Pitt being considered handsome as his first word.
Well, man pretty is a umbrella. Handsome is his qualifier.
What do you think men's most viewed category is?
I am scared to answer this question.
It's
Men
been
in general?
Please tell me. If the men category.
overwhelming.
But if the men category was men,
Hentai.
I would have laughed so hard.
No.
But no,
But
it's
it's
probably
not.
going to be black people.
It's Japanese.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be black people.
Men were overwhelming.
They were trying to hit the catch-all with Japanese and hentai.
Oh
Men's overall favorite category this year by far was Japanese MILFs, which went up 2%. Women's favorite category overall was lesbian. Cause
Wow!
girl power. I feel like it's been that way
That's
for a
not
while because have you
surprising.
seen men lately?
Is there a category for trans? Did I ever make it
Yes,
on the list?
yes.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, no, that was like 2 years ago.
It's
Florida's
also
number one search
it's
one.
also in the top of women's favorite category.
Honestly, work progression.
It's in the top 5. Hold on, 1, 2,
honestly?
3, 4, 5. It's in the top 6 of men's favorite category.
Man, to talk about the men, the bathroom bill, right? See, here's the thing. I will say shit, and people will just pick up on it.
I have not searched those.
The bathroom bill legislation? You've not searched that up?
No, I've just been getting that shit mainlined through Twitter at the time.
The
Now
country
I'm off of Twitter.
with the highest female porn viewership. So the country with the highest goonet population
Given that population.
is the Philippines with 59%.
Interesting. Another.
Usurping from Ukraine and Colombia.
Argentina coming in at number 2, and
Huh?
Colombia coming in at number 3
I mean, that's
with the
not shocking.
highest female porn viewership.
Now, which are any of those more female watchers than male watchers overall?
Yeah, the Philippines and Argentina, and just the Philippines and Argentina.
So before it was Ukraine and Colombia.
Mhm.
Yeah, Ukraine has gone down quite a bit. Or actually, no, Ukraine it says went up plus 4 points this year, but it's only 44% of the female population.
So yeah, 2 years ago, more women in Ukraine watch porn than men.
You want to know what it is for the United States?
Sure.
I'm gonna go with the
71%.
66-33.
I'm gonna go 70-30, just flat out.
It is 71% male to 29% female.
Close without going over.
The,
Close.
Trump's America, baby!
Yep. They definitely don't want the women out here watching porn because the big dick category went up plus 3 this year.
Honestly though, like, because I don't know if y'all saw Nosferatu.
Yeah, I did.
That's why.
I did.
He
They
saw
were
it literally 2 days ago.
We've seen what you bitches are into.
Two.
That's
Yeah,
wild.
sorry.
That's wild.
I just saw Nosferatu.
Ladies, we need to have a talk. I'm gonna pause the porn discussion for a second because, ma'ams, I know you guys want everlasting devotion. But the way this nigga was humping people as he was sucking blood, there was nothing that was not sexual about that movie,
To
bro.
be fair, there was a gay scene in the movie, but it wasn't overtly gay. It was just sort
No,
of gay.
no. He was like, oh, so you been fucking my bitch, huh? Okay, well, I guess it's time for you to bust it open now, too, right? Like,
This man was levitating off the fucking bed. Like, let's
he was,
pause.
like, just over top of niggas.
This thing, you cannot tell me he was
no.
getting a blowjob.
Nope.
You cannot tell me this man got a blowjob in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Nosferatu, gay coded.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure any
Very
vampire.
No, gothic.
Well, I would say vampire, but then I rewatched Castlevania.
Yeah.
And the new. And
you wanna-
Castlevania is not. It is definitely like sex coded. It is not gay coded.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, the fuck it is.
Yes.
Okay,
the fuck
wait,
is it?
Mizrak and Aurochs, that's like That's not coded. That's just there.
Original. I'm talking about the Castlevania season 1 and 2.
I was getting ready. Has nobody watched the new Interview with the Vampire series?
No.
Like,
The one with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
no. They've got a whole new like A&E series, and that shit is very queer. Like in support of TK, right? The country with the highest male porn consumption population.
I want to
to
guess.
female.
I want to guess. Colombia.
Germany.
Fucking second guess.
Germany.
Fuck it.
74% to 26%.
Fuck.
And it's probably because
Wait,
the German
74% women.
No,
men.
Oh, and I was
That
gonna
was my
say,
second guess.
I was
Only
gonna
because of
say
Colombia.
it's probably because the German men are so horny. There's absolutely no need for the women to watch porn.
I mean, German people are freaks. German men are freaks.
I mean, the other option would be South Korea, because apparently South Korean women are just like, nope.
Ooh, age demographics.
Oh.
What do you think Gen Z is really into?
Percentage-wise? No.
I'm gonna
30.
I'm gonna take a hilarious guess.
I'm gonna
and
say-
No. What do you think?
I'm gonna
they're
take
watching?
Oh, what they're watching?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh.
take a completely hilarious
Okay,
troll
go for
guess
it.
and say masturbation.
Okay.
I am going to be on the same thought and say
THOUGHT or
cucking.
Vertical video. They don't care what the porn is. They have to be vertical. Because why would you film things in landscape? What are you, 35? Like,
You know
what's
what,
a
though?
16:9 ratio?
Honestly, sometimes when I film porn, but not like professionally, but like my friends are like, hey man, we need someone who has a camera. It's like, alright, I did my amateur photography days in high school. I can do this. And then I did a thing. I took some shots, I did some video editing a little bit, and then all of a sudden I get callbacks like, can you just edit my videos forever? I'm like, fuck no! I only did it for you!
right?
Fuck you! Fuck everyone else!
What do you think? Gen Y? So that's 25 to 34. What do you think Gen Y millennials are watching?
Definitely MILFs.
Female male threesome. Like
What was-
male. Like
Yeah,
so the devil's threesome. Like two guys, one
two
girl.
girls. So they are watching gangbangs. They are watching threesomes.
They're gay adjacent.
Yeah.
Is that gay?
Is it though?
Is that
though?
gay, Jason?
I don't know.
I want to make.
My man said,
I was just making the one-liner.
I don't want
I'm-
to push back here.
Oh, I'm gonna push your Catholicism to the heart.
I don't want pushback on a gay joke.
You were being ganged up.
Is
You were
two
being
guys,
ganged up.
one girl gay?
No,
Is that gay?
no, I don't think so. Unless there are three specific clauses. Do they know each other? Do their dicks cross? Are they looking each other in the eyes? If all three are false, they're not gay. It's not gay.
If you're DPing and your balls slapped.
That doesn't count. Balls can hit balls.
If you look at each other in the eyes while you're DPing.
That you look the other way. You got a neck? Use it. You got a neck? Use it.
Like,
Crazy.
I feel like
Crazy.
two ultimately
Close your
straight
eyes.
guys that
Close your eyes.
like two straight guys that are like whatever, and then they eventually do look at each other in the eyes and they're like, why are we here?
All I know is that our Lord
Like
and
one
Savior,
of you is gonna have to bow out.
All,
And be
all
like,
I know is that our Lord and Savior, Pimp C, said that him and Bun don't be smashing the chicks at the same time, and they don't smash in the same room,
Right.
Because that's homo shit.
You know, but that's the thing is, I believe if you do, there's always chemistry in everything, right? Like, regardless if it was intentional or not. If I look at our friend Redacted,
Name redacted.
and we go after the same guy, and I'm not gonna look at his face. I'm not. I'm just gonna close my eyes, like I just pretend that I'm smashing my favorite crush, who at the time is Chris. No, not Chris Pratt. Fuck that shit. No, my favorite crush. No, that shit. People can just know. Wolverine main character.
Hugh Jackman?
Hugh Jackman.
Really?
I wanted him to smash me. I wanted his claws inside me.
That's why. That's unintended.
But honestly, it was more.
TK
like,
got very excited during that van fight.
The Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, the van fight.
Right, yeah, I wanted everything.
Big gay.
I've-
Big gay energy.
That is my relationship.
Hold on. All right. So, has everybody here seen Wolverine versus Deadpool?
Yes.
No.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, all right. Let me ask you: is it a good movie? Like, think about it. Is it a good movie?
That's like asking me if a fucking porn parody is like, no, but it did what it was supposed to. Like,
Thank you. It was fun, right?
Yes.
It was fun. It was fun.
That's
Okay.
literally how I
I mean-
feel about porn. Like,
I mean,
it's just
I
supposed
also
to be
just
fun.
kind of like I've not seen the movie, but I've seen enough clips of the movie, and it kind of gives me a little bit about like Spider-Man going home, like the final Spider-Man of Tom Hardy. It wasn't great. It was a love letter to all the Spider-Man fans.
It was a love letter to the
Yeah.
Fox universe of
Yeah, so like
I was gonna say
it was
I
more
think
of a
it
love
was
letter.
like
Spider-Man.
Chris Evans being the Human Torch again.
It was a way to pay homage. Well,
Have
I feel
Channing
like
Tatum finally go, "Whoo, I'm gonna make a name for myself out here."
Right, right. So it was kind of, I felt like we need more movies like that are just love letters. They don't need to be great. Like, if you just keep making banger after banger after banger, this is my flood. You don't need to make every single movie a fucking banger. You can have mediocre movies.
That's your hot take.
And I'm including all of Marvel in that.
every movie
not
needs
every
to
movie
be
needs to be
Oscar-worthy.
a fucking the Green Mile, the fucking Avatar.
I agree.
Doesn't need to be that. You know why? Because one of my favorite shitty fucking movies is The Room.
I mean, one of my if people ask me
Shitty movie.
gun to my head,
I get it.
favorite
I like
movies.
43.
One of the first ones that's just going to pop into my head is I would probably be like, Zoolander.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's okay. Yeah,
Zoolander is objectively, it's a great movie, but it is dumb as fuck.
I feel like the
It is
timeline.
it is an incredibly highbrow farce, but farces are inherently lowbrow.
right.
I feel like the time period we grew up in was full of shitty fun movies.
Yes.
Where's My Car?
Master
American
Lisa
Pie,
Saving Silverman.
Harold and Kumar,
All those comedy movies from basically era Comedy Central during that time period
Yep.
served this purpose because
Yep.
that's how I grew up with. Now,
I mean, even Tropic Thunder, which is one of my favorite topics of fucking conversation.
oh my god, yeah.
Because I watched something on it recently. It's yeah, there's two really fucking controversial scenes in this movie, and of course the really controversial premise. But let's be honest, this is one of the funniest movies since the year 2000.
Now,
Speaking of movies, Harley Quinn was the most searched movie character.
why does that not surprise me? Birds of Prey, Justice League Isekai, the anime show.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Followed
Suicide
by
Squad
Star
Isekai.
Wars and Game of Thrones,
Thrones.
which has had a pretty steady hold on.
I'm surprised Game of Thrones has some relevance.
Yeah.
That shit was 10 years ago.
That shit's got a pretty steady hold on.
No, but
people's fantasy,
even after the
like-
final season, which another hot take. I always take this hot take that final season of Game of Thrones was okay to me. Even still, for it to
It was
still have
visual.
relevance,
The final season, for damn sure, was visually stunning.
for that series to end like that, to still have relevance, popular relevance in today's economy and climate, props. Now, question for both of you. Well, really for you, Doc. More or less for you, Dan. What has been the weirdest porn that you have watched?
Oh god, dude, I'd be on.
Yeah, that's for
I don't know if I should admit this on camera, but
Future Dan.
I'd be on pretty regularly.
What's that?
It's like how do I put this? I don't want to call it just a porn bloopers site. It's like a shock porn site.
Oh, okay.
Dude, some
Future
of the
Dan, have fun.
is some of the videos I've seen around Christmas time. They had a compilation of
Future Dan, calculated.
They have a
Just have my laugh this entire
they
time.
have a compilation series called Unacceptable.
Oh my god.
Imagine, if you will, allow me to paint the scene.
Okay.
It was
Go
the
ahead.
night before
Picasso.
Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, but your games. And inside of that were Christmas ornament bowls that this dude was proceeding to explode with firecrackers.
Oh my god, Future Dan is gonna have a ball.
They said, hey, we saw the boys. We saw that one scene. Let's
Now,
recreate that scene.
Once
but bigger.
again, I would like to add the context. that
Season
this
1,
is
episode 5.
a
Yep.
shock porn site.
Everyone, you cannot forget season episode 5 of The Boys. I will, you know what? I'm so proud of you.
But the weirdest porno that I have ever seen
Okay.
was one that I discovered back in Mute.
Oh.
Sure, he was 18.
Nah, I was probably 16.
Yeah,
17.
Pornhub asked you were 18.
No, this was not something I found on Pornhub. I
No,
don't think.
just was this on a VHS?
Yeah, no, this was not. No, this was still internet porn, but it was
Okay.
like one of those weird off sites, not like com or anything like that, but like a more adult version of like Kill Some Time or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
It was a group of people having I'll call seafood orgy. There were women with actual eels, and there was a dude with a sea bass.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really thinking this is some Diddy party shit.
Dude, you remember the singing sea bass like wall? Yeah, it was like that.
The trophy trout?
But like, dude was like going full on with the sea bass, son, and I was like, hey, yo, don't they have like weird like beak mouths? And it didn't look quite comfortable to me.
All right.
Now for you though,
Okay.
I just want to let y'all know, it has been
37 minutes.
It has been over an hour, and we have not said anything about Trump or Elon.
Because this is more important. Everyone's been traumatized.
I finally found this state breakdown too, so when you guys are ready to get into
No,
that,
let's do that first.
this year, interesting fact,
There it is.
16 states have made porn illegal to watch within their state. So I don't know if you've been on Pornhub recently, but if you are close enough to the Virginia line, you have to actually log in to Pornhub because Virginia has made porn illegal. So has Texas, so has Montana, I believe Idaho. There are a couple of other states.
Idaho? Man,
Yeah.
they the hoe.
They are the hoe.
But
Most of the Rust Belt. Most of the Rust Belt.
yeah, and most of the South actually. The only few states in the South that have not banned, and not Southwest, but the South, are Louisiana, Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina.
Oh,
You know who's the maddest about this? Women.
Do you want to know? So out of
They ain't
these,
gonna know shit.
the most progressive. So South Carolina and Tennessee are actually fairly progressive. I'm going to call in their top porn category search. Do you want to know what they are?
What?
Chubby MILF and BBW White.
You know what? I like.
I think that's pretty self-aware for you, Tennessee and South Carolina.
You want them to be able to cook you something with
What
butter
were we talking about
afterwards.
earlier? We were talking about realistic expectations.
And now we're getting into the part where we just admit that people have kinks that are just weird.
Georgia, Louisiana, Ebony Homemade, and Ebony BBW.
What the fuck is? Okay, I understand homemade being like not professionally, but like I'm just imagining like homemade is like homemade lemonade.
Homemade, like, a Georgia peach pie.
Right. That's what I'm thinking.
Florida is Cuban, because, of course, and not just Cuban, but Cubana.
Cubana.
Yes, Cubana. Can you guess what the Californians are watching?
Bears.
Friends' mom. You niggas in California better watch your friends. Yes.
Not the show Friends' Mom. I would actually die for this.
I told you life was gonna be this way. Thank you.
In the most kinkiest region of the entire United States, I'm gonna have to give that to the northern Midwest, because from North Dakota, from North.
That kid. No, you know there's a kid named Dakota.
Right.
You absolutely know this.
And how much do you want to bet he lives in North Dakota?
No, South.
Dog, I lost my head. Anyway, okay.
TK, I just want to say I'm glad that you did that so I don't have to edit a clap in.
From North Dakota on down. North Dakota's most searched term is lesbian strap-on. North Dakota,
What?
we see you out there, baby. Y'all really
Okay.
love.
I mean, look, lesbian strap-ons is basically pegging.
Minnesota, Minnesota, Tim Walls' home state. Not home state, but Tim Walls' state. They like the Fuda hentai out there. And you couldn't get any more left wing.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Wisconsin, y'all niggas is really into Pete. I don't know.
Pete?
Yes. Pete.
Oh, Pete. Pete? Oh, Pete.
They like the water sports out there in Wisconsin.
Honestly, they have nothing else better to do. They're so up there, like, they have all that water. They have all that-
Illinois, you guys are keeping it very demure, very mindful. They like the ASMR role play. Yeah, right?
I have questions.
You guys, Iowans, you guys are clearly working overtime a lot because they like work trip. That's just what it says.
Truckers.
Work.
That's call a spade, truckers. Call a spade.
Now, the two most off-the-wall categories, as if P wasn't off-the-wall or Fuda hentai. Off-the-wall for me, which I don't know what this says about me.
Okay. Hit me.
We have Washington and Missouri,
Okay.
right? Now, Washington, they're really into milking out there. The guys, I guess you guys really like, you guys work hard in Washington, so the men like to lay down and be serviced.
Not milking.
You want to know what people in Missouri are really into? You want to know what people in Missouri are really into?
Phalluses?
Grandmas.
Hey.
If you a grandma and you looking for play,
you know
Florida
what?
is not
Age
the
play.
place for you. Guess what New Jersey is really fucking with?
Cigars.
The Iranians.
Yo, that's hilarious!
Oh,
The drones!
Oh my god.
They're like, what do they look like? Let's get a real look at what Iranians are
And
like.
New York has
no.
been really into the Turkish for whatever reason.
You know what? It's the Northeast. Northeast is getting a little bit more,
You say that.
They're like,
You say
let's
that.
see what these Muslims are up to.
Do you want to know what the most searched term in Connecticut was? The Northeast is really kinky. Like they're really kinky up there. If you're Turkish, and in Connecticut, you might be able to get a couple of dollars for queefing in a dude's face because in Connecticut they really like queefing out there.
Like Turkish queefing.
I mean,
Please tell me it is specifically
New
Turkish queefing.
New York likes the Turkish.
Turkish.
Connecticut
That's
is
queefing.
queefing. Massachusetts.
All you have to do is cross a river.
You Boston boys really like getting your faces sat on. I see.
Oh yeah, Remy. Like if he dies, he
New
dies.
Hampshire is into enemas. And if you like Harry Bush,
That is very tame. Enemas? That's so tame.
that's tame.
That is tame.
Okay.
That is
Question.
hell tame.
Question, because I've had enough to drink and I can actually ask this.
Okay.
Is there a polite way to ask somebody to shave their bush?
Yes.
You know, first of all, okay. Now
I'll let you start.
I'm not gonna shave, but you have to grow.
No, like, here's the thing. Like, I can, like, it's not like,
You are
it's like
first of all, you're dating a European. You should have known.
You should have known this.
You should have known.
But you know what, though? This is an educational channel. Hi, welcome to PBS. Today on Education Show.
But what I think is really funny, since, you know, we haven't done our home state yet, what I find really wholesome is Marylanders are searching
crap.
for girlfriends.
Aww.
Search term in Maryland is girlfriend.
Because it kept getting crabs.
No, because they're trying to figure out whether or not this girl they're talking to on Tinder is on PornHub.
That's because we're having a problem bridging relationships.
But okay. So as far
Bad
as
joke, but great joke.
I'm
so as far as bush goes, and I feel like all of us can answer this question because men can have bushes too. I am not opposed to a bit of hair. Now it depends on, I guess, how hairy we're talking. And
Are we
it's
talking
also,
about Sasquatch? Or are we
We're
talking about like...
we're talking like Fog of War.
Oh.
Yeah, like you
This
know.
thing said fog of war. So we're talking
about
70s Playboy
it's-
catalog.
We're talking about like, you know, I want to be more direct and what's the word? Precise.
Concise.
But it's a little bit difficult because it's Fog of War.
I'm just gonna have to tell you to grow up a little bit.
I'm with my man's over here.
You gotta learn to part the seas, Moses.
And I mean, I'm fighting in the Fog of War here. It's just that, you know, it's
Me,
fighting in the Fog of
personally,
War.
Honestly, here's the thing. Chat, come with me. Sit down. Chat, sit down. When it comes to dealing with other people's body parts and expressing your desires and wishes, it's always okay to ask. What is not okay is if you do it while they're sleeping.
Yes, please do not do that. Do not go to town
while they're sleeping.
Yeah.
No, like the way I'm hearing that is like them sleeping and then me going,
Yes, that's exactly what we're talking about.
yeah, no, that's not okay.
You'd be surprised the amount of people who think that's okay.
That's not okay.
Well, congratulations, you have foresight.
100% not okay.
Now, you can always suggest to her, like, hey, I know, you know, culturally things are a little different here, but, like, I enjoy partaking in this activity with you. It would be more enjoyable for me if you trimmed up a little bit, maybe, because I don't know whether you're into hair or not like that, right? Me, personally, I don't mind it, right? I could take it or leave it. I think if you trim it up, it's always a nice addition, especially to let me know I don't have to check your ID.
It's a lot easier to play Warcraft 3 when you don't have Fog of War on.
No, I mean, look, hey.
You know where you have to hit.
I like the immersion a little bit.
Look, the thing is, like,
Now-
sure, sometimes some strands get in your teeth, and you just deal with that.
I'm also a person
Like,
TMI. I like a little bit of the scent, right? You know, and hair carries that a little bit better than the bear.
Yeah.
No offense to the bear.
No offense to the bear.
I am not just a bear. I'm a soon-to-be bear. I am more than just a bear.
Hey, high five on the alley-oop. Woo!
Now, once again, if you're young, you may not be into those things, right? Like, those are acquired tastes.
Now, speaking of young, so let me tell you the weirdest porn
No
I have
diddy.
ever seen in my
No
entire
diddy.
life. This cannot be on record because of how fucked up this is.
Future Dan, calculated censorship beats.
Hold on, yeah, and at this point, I think it's time for us to take a quick
Break.
You take a sound, any sound, record it, and then change its nature by a multiplicity of operations. You record it at different speeds, you play it backwards, you add it to itself over and over again. You adjust filters, echoes, acoustic qualities, you combine segments of magnetic tape. By these means and many others, you can create sounds which no one has ever heard before.
So,
Like, if a couple of Nazis gotta get scalped, then a couple of Nazis gotta get scalped.
I mean, honestly,
I'm not-
What do I say the most American thing you can do is consistently?
Hey, punch a Nazi in the face, baby. When you're not jerking off. Finish jerking off.
what?
And then go punch a Nazi in the face.
No, do both. Fuck it. Do both.
Hold on.
Jerk off.
Finish,
Nazi.
but don't clean up. Then go punch a Nazi in the face.
No, you seagull that nigga. You finish in your hand, and then you punch. But
You do it like the guy from Rurouni Kenshin, where you hit with your knuckles first, and
Right.
then your full fist. So that way the cum just gets spread everywhere.
But this is
Then
Not only are you punching a Nazi, but you're now making this Nazi gay.
no.
Nazis are gay by
de facto.
Yeah.
But also, this is acting under the assumption that the Nazi has not run away.
right.
All right, so let's get this. Let's just get this out off the break. So, we saw Elon do a Hitler salute
Full throated.
This
twice.
Full throated.
Twice.
Once, shame on me. Twice, no.
No. First of all, there's no
No.
shame on
TK,
me
No.
when you do a
As somebody
Hitler
who has been diagnosed with autism, how do you feel that everybody is like, he's autistic?
I feel like this is like the reason why you brought me on this podcast is
Yeah.
for my political like controversy and my take. Honestly though,
Is
let's
it
talk.
controversial to say?
No, I'm just
Like,
making a big
like
cat.
I've seen so many people who are
I'm
like,
making-
I'm autistic. I've never done the Hitler salute.
As all my years of living on this earth, there are other ways to express yourself. Why was that on your mind? Let's start there.
Twice!
I would have been perfectly fine if he had come out in the trench coat with the 90s thin glasses, like that picture that's been floating around with him on the internet, and he was like dark
Like the
MAGA.
look that makes him think you just set a bomb in a cafeteria.
That's fine. That's whatever. Dude,
I
but,
honestly-
like,
That's whatever.
it is.
Honestly, I really
But-
thought when he extended his hand out, he was gonna give something to the
No.
audience.
No.
Like, he was
this
gonna-
nigga slapped his
Nope.
chest.
Nope. Hassan Piker even was like, did he just see Kyle?
I thought maybe. Okay, so the first time I saw it, I thought that's interesting, and then the second time we did it, I'm like, oh, we're just being bold, aren't we?
Bold and
Are
brash,
we just
baby.
being bold?
And
Being
then,
the most
then
bold-
he turned around and was like, oh shit, the cameras are on me.
No, he-
My heart goes out to you.
Is that what he
He said,
No,
no.
fam.
No.
Because I really feel like when he walked up to that podium, he walked up and was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it.
Yep.
I'm gonna do
Yup.
it. It was
Yup.
all over his face.
Yup.
He was like,
I think
That's also on camera, Doc.
I know.
that's
Ooh,
we don't.
They're gonna be like, Doc was Zig Heiling? Yeah, because I was imitating Dear Leader.
No. But
You're King Elon.
well, we know there's no such thing as Black Hitler. Let's
Blitler?
Blitler. There's no such thing as
no,
Blitler.
that was
Can
the,
we just admit that, like, if Elon grew a Tom Selleck mustache, he would look like an overweight Bradley?
I thought you were about to say if he grew like a curly mustache, he's gonna be like the.
No, if he grew a Tom Selleck mustache, he'd look like overweight Bradley.
Oh yeah, but he can't grow anything
I was gonna
except
say-
for his dignity. But whoops.
the Wisconsin school shooter, which was he was a blitzer. But
Child, we don't talk about her.
oh, was it Wisconsin? No, it was Nashville.
Nashville.
Nashville. Solomon Henderson, the black kid that went and shot up his school.
I know his mom would be
Black
pissed.
transgender Nazi. Let's really fuck with the media.
Like, how
Was he
desperate.
transgender?
I don't know,
Yeah.
but it would really mess with them. They don't know how to attack
He
that
was a
angle if
black-
it was a
he-
black transgender Nazi.
He was a black white supremacist, though. He was an admitted black white supremacist.
You know what? You know what that first reminds me of? Remember Dave Chappelle when he was blind?
Yes.
And that KKK
Clayton
skit?
Bigsby.
Klansman? Yeah, that's what that reminds me of.
It's
That's what.
It's not Clayton, but Solomon Henderson. I mean,
that's the type of name where I'm like, I feel like that just sets them up.
Yeah. He was 17 and shot himself dead after murdering a 16-year-old girl. And it's all.
I feel like he shot her and then immediately looked up and saw a mirror.
He had a Blue Sky account.
Blue Sky account.
Of all things. So even Blue Sky isn't safe.
By the way, you can follow us at the Flood Pod on Blue Sky.
And that's on everything.
And on everything. You won't see us active on X, though.
Yeah, because we don't support terrorists. We don't negotiate them either.
Or Nazis.
Or Nazis.
That matter.
Yeah, you won't see us on X.
This is like, no, I hope everyone does an X account after
I
this.
think we might have auto uploads on X, but that's it.
You're not getting revenue from it, then therefore you don't use it. You don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, like, at this point, dude, it's really, I mean, between him and Mark Zuckerberg, who hasn't come out and just fully zig heiled, right? But he went on Joe Rogan's podcast and immediately capitulated.
He threw up a post on Facebook. Do you know Mark Zuckerberg hasn't put a post on Facebook in years? And then he was like, so much fun at the inauguration with my Asian American wife.
He wants to be Tom from MySpace. So
Where's Tom from MySpace? Where his ass at? You know what? That's a hero of the internet. Where his ass at?
This nigga, he made MySpace. He stayed quiet, and then
We need him. He's the hero of the internet.
he sold it, and he went off and became a photographer.
Honestly, I feel like Tom.
Like, he didn't even sell it for like an absurd amount. He was just like, I'm gonna sell it so I never have to really do anything else in my life for the rest.
No, he went off and became a photographer. Like, that nigga was like, yeah.
You know what? Hey, I did this thing, but here my photos.
This is what I want to do. I don't have to do anything else.
To be fair, though, let's be honest. If you created a social phenomenon app
Like MySpace.
like MySpace, do you really want to work for the rest of your life?
Nah, that's it, man.
It's like, I'm pretty sure you would love to just be a sports analyst for ESPN.
That's it.
I'd probably just throw enough money to where Jacoby and I could have a podcast. I would just want to talk with Jacoby once a week.
I feel like you would go on a date with Jacoby first.
I feel like if, we got to the point.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I would buy Jacoby beers.
See?
I wouldn't take advantage of it, but I'd certainly pay for Jacoby's tab.
Perfect setup. I mean, like, I feel like if we got to a point in our podcast where, like, our notoriety had really reached a point where, like, we became a cultural phenomenon, though, you wouldn't be doing things like offering 15-year-old strippers, though, would you? Would you? Well, DJ Akademiks did. DJ Akademiks.
I don't know these people.
You don't know DJ
Akademiks is Drake's mouthpiece.
Oh, okay. So
I don't know this girl.
Let me.
I don't know this girl.
I love.
He's a guy.
Shout out to Mariah
But
Carey.
I'm saying it's a girl.
No,
I don't know this
Shout out to
girl.
Mariah Carey. So DJ Akademiks has become one of the more notable names in hip hop news. Right,
Okay.
so he is like the online.
Is he like this the White House speaker staff? For the
Perez
hip-hop?
Hilton. Perez Hilton in hip hop.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Yes. Thank you for translating the game.
Yeah. Think Perez Hilton for hip hop.
Yeah. No. Perfect. Because boy is DJ Akademiks. He has recently gained notoriety as Drake's mouthpiece.
I thought you said Drake mouthpiece.
He wishes. Because Drake don't even like that nigga.
Has Drake ever been on his stream?
Yes, but every time him and Drake interact, Drake low-key, like, disses DJ Akademiks. Like, he's always clowning him, right? So it's very clear that Drake is antagonistic towards DJ Akademiks.
Maybe he focuses that energy on basically contributing his life.
Well, Ak is not helping with the whole people around Drake have weird charges thing because he was just
just on stream with the 15-year-old
while they were playing Fortnite, I guess, and offered to send the 15-year-old strippers and then proceeded to ask him all kinds of uncomfortable sexual
And
questions.
this kid at multiple times was like, bro, I'm 15.
Now I know we just spent a full hour
I'm bored.
making Dan uncomfortable, asking him about sexual questions. But Dan is a fully consenting adult.
Yeah.
And anytime a 15-year-old needs to check you on the kind of questions you are asking him, you know you're in the fucking wrong.
Yep.
There's nothing to say more than that. Next story.
You know, honestly, I'm fine with it. We're just going to the next story.
Yeah, no, I'm happy.
I am pulling it dead. Next story.
I'm happy to see DJ Akademiks go down. One person I'm not happy to see go down, though, is the dog father, Snoop Dogg, who has caught a bit of controversy over his
and Nelly been catching it.
and Soulja Boy.
And Soulja
who
Boy.
I'm not necessarily
Okay,
that
alright, I
disappointed.
think
Soulja Boy, I
audience-
can understand chasing a check. Nelly too.
Nelly has
No,
other things.
Nelly
Nelly has
literally-
other things.
Nelly was literally just online a couple of years ago begging people to
Yes,
stream his music
exactly.
so he could pay his taxes.
Exactly.
Oh, I didn't know him.
And that's why I'm like,
But
I can
Snoop-
understand Nelly
Snoop
doing
has
it.
zero. Okay, so here's the thing. Chat, sit down for a bit. The reason why certain rappers do certain things that don't make sense to us is...
The moolah.
No, not fame, money!
The
Money.
cash rules everything around me.
So, even though Snoop Dogg has, and I quote, a multi-million-dollar deal with the
100.
Olympics.
Worth over $100 million. I mean, Snoop Dogg has literally become one of the biggest
Black Martha
commercial.
Stewart.
Yeah, like
He's
The Black
he's
Martha
so
Stewart.
big as a commercial person that we have turned it into a meme.
Yes.
Sneaking Snoop.
I mean, he has that youth football league. He's helping send people to college, right? Like,
Literally every Corona ad.
Right. So,
Any major sporting event like WrestleMania, they get him commentating.
although he's still doing cooking shows with Martha, and those two are still cheap Kiki up.
Like,
So,
I feel
when
like
you
at
see-
this point, everybody should just understand, yeah, Snoop is going to take the check.
I mean, the glazing of Trump has really gotten so out of control that at this point, like, even people like Oliver Stone are fucking commending Trump for doing really simple shit, like, I don't know, declassifying the JFK.
I feel like they almost are
Like-
doing this to just be like, look, we like you. Please don't fuck this up.
Let's not forget, TK, you might not know this because you've been doing a lot of international traveling and stuff like that, but even fucking Tenacious D, like the band that Jack Black was in, they broke up over Trump because the, what's the other member of Tenacious D?
Because Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle said something about, like, he was like, fuck Trump. And while they were on tour, and Jack was like, hey, chill out, dog. And yeah, Tenacious D is no more because of Donald Trump.
However,
Right?
we're still this podcast where we just say, yeah, I mean, fuck Donald Trump, right? Yeah, fuck Trump.
I mean,
I
it's
remember you
YG
texting
all
me.
day.
Fuck
Like,
Trump.
I
yeah.
remember you texting me, Dan, just like, hey, so I'm running up the screen notes. Is there anything you want to talk about? And I literally said, end quotes, fuck Trump.
And I was like, well, I mean, yeah. fuck that guy.
And
I mean,
We've
like,
always been fuck that guy.
Yeah, and it's not just because of his running. Like,
Because he's a fucking asshole.
lots of people.
not just an asshole, he's a megalomaniac. And megalomaniac people are never nice.
Dude,
Never.
he's
Never.
just not a.
I have an alley-oop for megalomaniacs.
But one thing.
Well,
And
yeah.
it's a nice alley-oop for
But
megalomaniacs.
Before
I
we-
want to say
yeah,
this one
let's talk
thing.
about Snoop a little bit more.
I just want to end Trump being like, this man is Emperor Palpatine in real time.
Yeah.
This man-
literally,
this man-
like literally the way
Claims to
people.
Jimmy
Black
Kimmel.
Lightning.
Jimmy Kimmel made that fucking joke.
No, but like literally, dude, the way people are, and like, I'm not. When people get disappointed about rappers like cuddling up to Trump, right? I'm always like, have you been paying attention to rap music? Because like literally, they're gonna go. Most of them are gonna go where the money is.
Yeah.
Like that's Kendrick's whole point right now. Like I would be surprised if Kendrick came out in support of Donald Trump.
Yeah,
But
very shocked.
I'm not support that artists like Rick Ross and Nelly and Snoop Dogg, right? Like they've been Trump has been idolized. Like, Nelly has a line about Donald Trump. Like, all of these rappers have lines about reaching the kind of, like, status that is perceived that Donald Trump has. So, duh. What I'm surprised about is the amount of people who are willing to discredit all of the things that made Trump a bad president.
I feel like the first time around,
presidency.
people were trying to push back and make sure that he couldn't do things. And this time around, they're almost pleading, like, please don't do the thing.
It is like, that's why everybody is being nice and kissing the ring. Everybody is literally kissing the ring right now. And it's disgusting.
It is very heartbreaking when your democracy is falling in line of fascism.
Yeah. And you're watching your not necessarily
It's like
heroes.
Franklin said, he's like, we have a democracy if you can keep it.
It's even weirder
Or
when
a republic if you can keep it.
watching your heroes capitulate. Right? Like, not to say that Snoop Dogg is anybody's hero, but like these are people that you grew up idolizing and enjoying, whether to whatever extent you may have, right? And when you see them just kind of fall in line with this shit while we're hearing about like the raids already starting up in New Jersey and Chicago
And Baltimore.
and Baltimore, right? Like it's happening. And they said it wasn't going to get that serious, and they're still pretending like it's only criminals and illegals.
I
Which,
want to say
by the
shout
way-
out to unnamed listener who said that they would go to jail instead of letting the kids get taken.
I mean,
Shout out to unnamed listener for that.
Also, we should probably put in the show notes resources for people who, I don't know,
are suffering through any kind of I mean,
So, like,
whatever we can, whether it be the California wildfires,
Add
which
show notes.
they are already like Trump is already making conditions for aid to California.
Oh, did you see his photo with Gavin Newsom? Oh, dude, Gavin Newsom came up to him and he said like, "You don't ever take my black children away from me." Like,
Yo, I love that. I love Trump. I mean,
I love SNL's like parody of Gavin Newsom where they're just like, here, come into my wigwam. Like,
Yo, I mean, Gavin looked like he ready for the smoke. Gavin Newsom is like I know you haven't seen The Substance yet, but like Gavin Newsom is Joe Biden if he could take the substance. He's out there.
look at this image.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. This man. Okay, this man is doing a Michael Jackson lean.
Let me go back. Yo, he really is.
This man and Melina is doing a Michael Jackson lean. Like, Eddie, are you okay? Gavin, are you okay?
Yeah,
Are you okay?
Trump is like leaning forward, right? Like,
Gavin, are you okay?
really
Gavin,
trying
are you
to
okay?
impose
Are you
on
okay,
Gavin.
Gavin?
And like Trump isn't even taller than Gavin Newsom with a hat on.
But first
Right?
of all, let's look at his shoes real quick. Ma'am, those are 3-inch platform shoes.
and I see an air gap in between those.
Yo, and Trump has platforms on,
Shoes.
bro.
Like,
and Gavin is
ma'am.
really like, let me tell you something. If it was as easy as raking the leaves in the forest, motherfucker, we'd have
Motherfucker, we have redwoods.
Yeah, like-
This basically said to me, like, it's like what's that fucking movie Beyonce? It's just like, you have come into my house, you have touched my child, how dare you?
Oh yeah, what is it? Obsession?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what that image was about.
Dude, I'm telling you, between him and Jamie Pritzker, I'm really hoping, because right now the Democratic Party has no leadership.
There's
right?
nothing. The Democratic Party, by the way, for
Bernie,
those, I'm
shout out
independent.
to
I
Bernie.
mean,
Like,
you heard the award show.
Yeah.
We gave them the biggest L, didn't we?
I mean, shout out to Bernie. Bernie is doing what he
Bernie-
can.
Shout out to
form-
Bobtown Comedy also for contributing to that episode.
And Bernie's doing what he can to form a coalition of like survivors of the 2024 election, right? And he's getting independents and stuff together, and that's really what we're going to need to do to move forward here. Because
Or be like, look, we need Democrats with balls.
honestly though, and I'm gonna.
And I feel like really that's what he's saying. Like he's gonna talk to Jasmine Crockett.
I feel like in the next 5 years, I say within because probably less than that. This is my prediction. 2025 predictions. Independents, there are going to be more independents after this election. Way more independents after this election.
I think we
You
are.
think we're at a Ralph Nader, Ross
We are
Perot
at
level?
an influx of people who grew up in, because think about it, what the millennials have to deal with for the last 20 years of their life.
Yeah.
4 recessions, 3 wars, 2 crazy presidents,
Yeah.
and 1 fucked up economy.
Yeah.
2 fucked up economies.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
nice.
I mean,
Yeah.
Dude, and so and we have seen both parties reach the absolute pinnacle of extremism, right?
Yeah.
Like we've seen the complete capitulation of the
quote-
corporate class by the Democrats, right?
I'm
and
going
we
to
have
quote-
seen the Republicans go as extremist as they possibly can at this point, right?
Like, I feel like, so I was reading the term moderate because I was trying to see, like, is there a moderate party?
No.
But moderates only refer to what the policy is at that time.
I will say
And
that
the policy is
I'm
center.
going to quote Laura Arendt from when she was covering the Nuremberg trial.
Oh, okay.
Evil cannot be radical. It can only be extreme.
That's a fair quote because we are seeing an extreme situation. I mean, I know it was said so much during COVID that it almost lost its meaning, but this is an unprecedented time, right? Like, we are a felon president, right?
That's one thing.
Literally a felon.
Whether people want to accept the legitimacy of the feloniousness of our president or not, right? He is still a documented felon.
Yep.
We are witnessing the mass rounding up of quote unquote undocumented immigrants, even though there have already been reports of Native Americans, so First Nationers are being rounded up. Veterans have been rounded up.
I mean, I went into work on the 21st, and I went to Sandra, the office manager, and I was like, "Oh, I'm so glad you're still here." And she didn't get it at first, and then she came to me hours later that day, and she was like, "I get it," and I have been laughing my ass off intermittently the entire day because of it.
It's just kind of wild to me to watch people try to do the kind of lapse that it takes to justify shitting on the libs. Because I've said this before, and I will say this again. The majority of people, I truly honestly feel, the majority of people who voted for this man did not do it for economic reasons, do it for moral reasons. They did it because they were tired of being told how to live by people who they do not value as legitimate. And this was the perfect opportunity for them to do the funniest thing possible.
Hey, America really does, America really does fuck shit up in the worst way possible. It is sad that I want to say a lot of built-up frustrations within Gen X and Millennials and Gen Zs that they didn't have an outlet. They didn't have, because growing up with us, we had Comedy Central, we understood the barriers between what was acceptable, what was not acceptable, and then also that conversation that comedy is meant to push the boundaries, because if we don't, we don't grow.
In medieval court, it was often considered that the jester was the most safe.
Yeah.
Because the king never took them seriously, but they made the king think.
I think it is a fair statement to make that we grew up during a time period where there was a mutually assumed respect for each other.
A social contract.
Oh, I've heard that term before.
An unspoken social contract of mutual respect.
Yeah.
Shout out Thomas Hobbes or John Locke. I can never remember which one.
The quote-unquote attitude era, peak South Park, right? Dave Chappelle, peak Comedy Central, right? It was a kind of free-for-all. right? But that was because we were all operating under an assumed mutual respect for each other. I was watching Crystal Ball from The Hill talk with Kyle Kalininsky on YouTube from Secular Talk about this earlier, right? Like, there was an assumption on the left that when leftists were dunking on Democrats, right, that the right would do the same for their politicians, right? So when leftists saw people on the right agreeing with them when they dunked on Democrats, on Hillary Clinton, on Barack Obama for the things that they were doing, we were assuming that they would turn around and do that for their politicians too. We are now in Trump's America. It is very clear that that mutual assumption was that understanding of goodwill was not there at all. They had no intention they want to talk about Joe Biden's corruption and the Bill Clinton crime family and all of that, but ignore the fact that Donald Trump is forcing Secret Service agents and foreign diplomats to stay at Trump plazas and Trump in Mar-a-Lago, right? Like, no, they don't care to have good faith conversations.
No, it's like, what's the point of going faith if you can't have money?
No, it's not even, and they don't care about good faith criticisms either. They want us to criticize, trans people and liberal celebrities, right? But they don't want to talk about Ted Nugent. They don't want to talk about Donald Trump being fucking so closely associated with Jeffrey Epstein that Jeff literally was on tape saying, "I've got Donald in my back pocket." They don't want to talk about that.
That's the thing, is that it really comes down to, and this is the only time I'm quoting One Piece, and the only time One Piece is during Dolphy's fight with Crocodile Man. I can't remember his name. Like, the winners of the battles teach history.
Yeah. Yes. History is
for the winners. Yeah. Yep. And right now, it's Trump's America that's winning.
Yeah. And we've got a complete refurbishing of history.
Yeah, because, like, I can't wait, like, when we're 40s and 50s and we have to explain our grandchildren, like, what happened for it.
We've got a fucking Christian scientist running the Defense Department, right? They are now granting access for public funds to be given to private Christian charter schools. They're literally trying to tank the public education system, right? They've been pushing people to homeschool their kids for the longest time. They've been, denigrating teachers, which is why it was wild to me that teacher was one of the most popular porn categories, right?
I want this teacher to teach my son.
Because let me really blow your minds here, no pun intended.
Oh no.
Kids are being homeschooled at an increasing rate.
That's interesting.
Two of the most searched porn categories this year were teacher and MILF.
You're getting a homeschool education. All right.
And on that note, I'm gonna take a piss break.
Great.
Look, it's a flood.
The flood.
It's flooding.
Get away.
Quick, we need to get to higher ground.
Open the floodgates.
Wait, why can't we talk about black stuff?